What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another unbelievable episode of the Center Beacon. I made those doors, by the way. Those weren't purchased. I actually created those. This weekend, we're talking about test server 2.5.0. I know it's not the weekend anymore, but I've been really busy lately. My apologies. I didn't get to do last weekend's test server, the project file for my video creation. It was an epic creation. It corrupted, so I lost all my work. And I couldn't really recreate it, so I decided to skip last weekend. Last weekend was the energy weapons. They look like trebuchets. They act like trebuchets. Didn't really like them that much anyways, but this weekend I was able to do things right. And we're talking about heavy spirals. And here you can see the first one, the Spiral Heavy 1. They all have about the same range. They all kind of do the same thing, so it was kind of strange when I looked into these things. But the damages and the amount of missiles delivered varies slightly between the three versions. And so what we're going to do with this video is I'm going to take you through each version and kind of give you like the stats here. I'm going to show you kind of like what they look like loaded up. They did this cool little holographic, kind of potential representation of the weapon system. On the screen there, all of those numbers. What this represents is the potential damage for each weapon system in the particular configuration that I set up here, and then a potential damage figure. Now, it's not DPS, it's just like, if you shoot this thing at somebody and they all land, that's about what you can expect to do for damage. I like that as opposed to DPS, because I find that like too many things like interrupt DPS, where, if you have to sit there and hold a beacon, you don't get to shoot, it's not an accurate representation. But for those times that you do get to like unleash all the firepower you've loaded up onto these bad boys, I like total damage. You may not get it all, but it gives you an idea. Hey, if I land it all on this certain type of robot and I know how much health he has, then it can indeed do a third of it'll take a third of his health away or something. That's what I'm getting at. So I thought I'd throw that in there. You can see the angle these things shoot at. They work just like spirals, which makes sense. This is a pretty good firing position on this map, the one time that I want Shenzhen for a ranged weapon. This works pretty good. It's not too overpowered. It wasn't epic by itself, just one big old fat missile sitting on top there. What I'm liking about these is that I think there's been a lot of complaining about Fury Tridents lately, and I think this will make a really nice counter. Because this guy, as you saw there just previously, he can shoot from behind cover, not be exposed, won't be in splash damage range from a Trident, and, he can do some damage. It's not catastrophic damage. You're not going to one-shot anybody, but a lot like the Hydra video that I showed you guys a while back, it's effective over time. And I don't know, people seem to have varying levels of experience with the game is what I'm learning from my channel experience and the comments that I get. And I see a lot of people commenting that clearly have not played max level gold to any degree at all, let alone for months and months and months, and say the better part of the last year or two. Things work differently at max level, and it's not a one-man show. It's an incredibly organized team effort. And so a lot of these things that I kind of show you guys they're geared towards that mindset. It's not for the solo silver player building a hangar out there. You're not going to wreck shop with, some of these videos, some of these builds and weapon systems I'm showing you. But as a component of an organized team, this is what I'm talking about. Sometimes you just sit there and you hold the beacon and you get 300,000 damage. You know what I mean? That's your job. That's your function, is you play defense and hold that beacon. So with that thought in mind, I'm liking this weapon system quite a bit. You can see here's the next version. Out of the three, this was probably my favorite. It seemed to deal the most damage, and you can look at the numbers there. So they've been shooting these things at us fast and furious. Like I said before, last weekend were the energy weapons. This weekend is a potential heavy spiral. I believe from a Facebook post that they put out not long ago, I think they're just kind of throwing spaghetti against the wall, and if it sticks, then it's done. And I think depending on our responses to these things, I think that's going to be the case. If, there's an overwhelming response where everyone loves these, new missiles, then they may develop these further. The energy ones, honestly, I was kind of lukewarm on. just to kind of give you a recap of what I thought of what I wasn't able to show because the file got corrupted. Damn computers. But, there's a lot of physical shields, and I'm just not real crazy about anything right now that can't, give me effects on the target like half the time. It seems like half the time I turn the corner, it's always somebody in a physical shield. Now, I did 2 loadouts here for these Heavy Spiral, the Heavy Spiral 2. Same weapon system, just a different loadout. You got the Butch here. You can get off 4 of these guys in quick succession, especially since they reduce the animation time on the Butch, the Doc, and the Jesse for switching weapons, which is really nice if you guys don't have these bots. I think I have one of them. I have like the Doc, so it's cool to be able to switch weapons so quickly now. But, so just a couple of different looks. These are quick clips. I don't think you guys want to see like an entire match played with these things. It's so boring, especially on test server. Again, it was one of those weekends where I lost every game because people refuse to run what's being tested. They want to run like a triple Trident Fury. They want to run like a Lance, with Organs and a Thunder. And it's good because then you're seeing, what you're going to face off against. But it's bad because, they run over the top of you, especially if you end up with, like I did a couple times, a team that actually was, like, intent on testing things. And there off to the left, you can see there's a little unicorn for you. It was a triple Gecko Gepard. And I'd like to save that fella some time and just let him know that that's not good. That's not a good build. Don't waste your time. So here's the 3rd and final iteration for this weekend's test server. Again, same range, same reload time. This one's 6 missiles. Slower rate of fire, though. This is 4 seconds, whereas the other 2 were 0.4 seconds. So these bad boys, they come off the chain a little slower, but still, pretty decent damage. And I'll show you the numbers here in a second when it pops up on my amazing, graphic that I've got coming up here. Lava. They called it lava. I think they got it from me. Somebody told me, they were like, "Oh my God, you guessed it right. How did you know they were going to call it lava?" I don't know, man. This is what I do. So quick look at this thing here. Not too bad. You can kind of see the damage delivered. It's not catastrophic. It's not overwhelming. I actually felt like these were pretty well balanced. You're not going to win the game by sitting back over here where I am and just, unleashing holy hell on people. But, again, try to bear in mind, they don't engineer these things in a vacuum. And I believe, firmly that it's kind of engineered towards top-end play and also in a team setting. Here I let these bad boys loose just to see if I could get that guy while he was in the air, and it did do damage while he was in the air. So supposedly, according to the Spiral description, they don't miss. Like, once they lock on, they're going to hit type thing, unless the guy, flies behind a building or something. So this is just a quick look at this most recent weekend's test server. I've had, like I said, I had that corrupted project file, so I'm actually kind of behind a video, and I feel bad about that. I had like this really cool look at all those energy weapons, and I had all these really cool effects, and all this stuff was flying around and everything. But alas, it was corrupted. I don't know why. I never had that problem before. Hopefully never happen again. I've backed up I've stopped being stupid, and I've backed up my project files now, so I have another copy to work from in case that happens again. But this was just a quick look at these new weapons. Heavy Spirals. I know a lot of people weren't too crazy about the whole ranged game, but for whatever reason, they seem focused on it. Like, it doesn't seem to be going away. Everything's ranged lately. Let me know what you thought in the comments, and as always, I really appreciate you guys liking and subscribing. I think by the time you see this video, I'm going to hit 2,000 subscribers. I really appreciate that. It's very humbling. Thank you, and as always, I'll see you next time at the Center Beacon.